Zacharias, so, we're gonna talk about Beyonce got controversy again. It's not about her cowboy Carter concerts that have been too damn expensive for nobody to go because now the Beehive waking up. It's not about that. It's not about Jay-Z connection with Diddy in this case. Um, we already know that's the connection with that. It's not about her being a saintness, alleged saintness. I'm not saying she is, but it seems to me that probably could be true. No, it's about her wearing a black Buffalo Soldiers shirt. And some people in the both Latino and the indigenous community has been upset because there were instances of of the Buffalo Soldiers involved in atrocities against both the American and Mexican people. But I want people to understand before anyone start going there with that situation, because they were Tejano soldiers. No one's not talking about that here in Texas. That was enslaved. They were slave masters after they helped the white Anglo-Saxons, illegal immigrants, okay, who invaded Texas for slavery, okay. Yeah, Tejano soldiers. That's what black and versus brown racism started when you had um, Mexicans who chose to go against their own country, and when they went against their own country, they end up going against their own country. Then they was taking sides with white Anglo-Saxon supremacists who from United States who invaded Texas. They became Republic of Texas because they drug Santa Ana. We all know the tragic mulatto. I'm gonna call it like it is. Amy Morgan West. She was a slave to Captain Morgan. Of course, under Mexican law, that was anti-slavery. She had to be listed as an indentured servant. She used her exotic, racially ambiguous body and seduced Santa Ana when he was fighting for us to be free and keep Tejas, Mexico. Right there down from the east side, by Pasadena, right there by Washburn Channel. She met him when he took her over there. They had sex. She drugged him. She got him drunk, however, and he lost the war. So that's how Mexico lost Texas. But you had African people who either pure black or mixed race, especially mulatto, who had white fathers and black slave mothers, who was involved helping Sam Houston and Stephen L. Austin. And you had Tejano soldiers who were Texas Mexican folks who wanted to take sides with Sam Houston and Steve L. Austin, even though they did not like them. And when I tell this story, people don't realize that's how Mexicans got classified as white here in Texas before the Treaty Guadalupe Hidalgo bill. The Tejano soldiers, they took part of taking Texas away from Mexico, ended up becoming slave owners. One of them was Jose Antonio Navarro here in Texas. And Sedgwick was one of them too as well, who actually, so that's what it was, Mexican Americans who were in Texas. Not all of them, but many who were anti-black. And yes, they had a mixture of Spaniard, Indigenous, and black, but they were listed as white. So, before anybody started talking about the Buffalo Soldiers, doing atrocity towards the Americans and Latinos, the Tejano soldiers also were involved in slavery. And everybody bashing Beyonce, but if y'all forget, Beyonce has a drop of Spanish in her too. Yes, she don't talk about it, but in her geology, she has Asian in her and also Spanish Creole. Like I have Hispanic roots from Louisiana, she do too. Um, and also too, she's Native American Cherokee. I have Cherokee in my blood besides Choctaw. So she's not just Creole. She's French, Black French Creole, Spanish Creole as well, Asian and Native American. She has almost everything. She has an extensive geology. Okay, so a very extremely racially mixed geology. Okay, she don't talk about, but you read about her geology, it does show. Like one time she said she wished she was born Latina, and I'm like, you already are Latina. You not Latin American Latino, but you have Spanish roots from Louisiana, Beyonce, okay, from your mama's side, who's Creole. So, it's just weird, but when she did the L'Oreal, was it L'Oreal commercial or CoverGirl, one of those, hair makeup commercials, and Jeff Lopez put her, and this is Puerto Rican, and it put Beyonce, it put African American, French, and Native American. And you had people African American who didn't like, who loved the one drop rule, was bashing Beyonce. Why would you claim you this and that? You know, you should put black on there. You know how it goes with the one drop rule. I'm against the one drop rule myself. I identify as mix my own self. So I want to clear that out. Now, there's plenty of people of African American going along talking about Native Americans being slave owners. Okay, and I want to say, because the Cherokee tribe was involved, but on my end, the Cherokee tribe that I'm related to, my fifth grandfather, John Wolf Jackson, was not a slave owner. No, he needed his son, John Wolf Jackson Jr. on my big mama's side, my dad's maternal grandmother's side. Okay, not my dad's mother. Well, it can't call my dad's mother contribute to it, but her mother, Big Mama. That's how, okay? And remember, I told you I got along with Big Mama and get along with my grandma, okay? Her daughter, okay? So, when I really did cry, and Big Mama's friend back in 1988, I did Big Mama's ancestry before I got evicted 2 years ago. So, I don't know she had Cherokee blood. Her husband, Big Daddy, who dark skin with natural straight hair, was mixed with black Choctaw and English. But I didn't know she had a culture, colonized Creole, should I say? Because one of my six grandparents on that end, on her daddy's side, was from Africa, and they was enslaved in New Orleans by a French family called the Boudreaux family. So they had last name Boudreaux. Okay, so they sold my sixth grandfather, who's African. Okay, and then that's Louisa Boudreaux's daddy. Then her mother and her was sold by my fifth grandfather, who's white, named John Corns. John Corns was not a Southern slave master. He was a Yankee from New Jersey who was Scottish and English descent, who came down to Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, right? Or either Texas, Louisiana. I gotta go back to ancestry.com. He came out here to own land and own slaves. He sold. The Boudreaux family sold my fifth grandmother Louisa and her mother to my fifth grandfather, who's white. And of course, he violated, aka my fifth grandmother Louisa Boudreaux, and they had a daughter named Phyllis. Actually, Louisa was going to murder her own daughter and herself in a fireplace. But Margaret, my fifth grandmother, who's white, stopped that, and they had my fourth grandmother, Phyllis Corns. They changed her name to Corns with a K, because they with a C and hers with a K. And she met John Wolf Jackson Jr., who's Cherokee, and they got married. And that's how Levi Jackson came in, which is Big Mama's grandfather. And he named his son John from his dad. He named John Jackson as well. When he married Amanda Manning, yeah, that's my third grandmother, right? Okay, so then that's how Lorraine, Elizabeth Jackson Cleveland, Big Mama, my great grandmother on my daddy's side, my dad's maternal grandmother came in. So yeah, that's her dad's lineage. Okay. So anyway, we brought this up because every time I hear not all Native Americans enslaved black people, and people don't understand there's two different conditions. Yes, you had those who are mixed with white and native, okay, particularly who intermarried with white folks, like right here in Texas. Sam Houston, the slave master's wife was Cherokee. Yeah, he was racist, but he had a Cherokee wife, interracial marriage. Okay, so and he had part black kids too, and his son did too, who was part white and Cherokee. Cause I know a sister from CUNY Home, she's still there sitting now. She's probably either left or got evicted, like me was did. Okay, and she's a brown skinned sister, and she's related to Sam Houston from his part white, part Cherokee son. He married a black woman. Now, Sam Houston violated or had consensual adulteral sex, whether rape or either consensual, with black female slaves on the plantation. And I know a doctor, he was coming to her business, bright-skinned lady named Dr. with dreads, named Dr. Houston, she's a doctor, and she is descendant of Sam Houston as well. So, yeah, so it shocks me all these people. So, point is, I ain't seen Dr. Houston since 2014, yeah. So, she's a psychologist, yes. So, That's I mean, tell you business, but I think he's one historical facts because he was thinking I'm lying something, I'm lying my stuff. So let's get to the subject, okay? So yeah, so the five civilized tribes. There's two sides to the story. So if the black slaves or the mixed race black slaves left the white supreme slave owner and went to the Native American communities, by law, the white slave owner can come back and get that slave because now they consider slave as property. So to stop this situation, the American people in the community had to purchase you to get you out of your contract with that slave owner, so you can be free in their community. The other side is of those who was mimicking white supremacy and marrying white people or having babies with them. They start to practice slavery as well. And then later on, the churches happen. Okay? So I want everyone to know it's the two different side story. But no, my fifth grandfather, who was Cherokee, who died Cherokee, John Wolf Jackson, senior, he was from the Cherokee tribe in East Georgia. And his son did not own slaves. I didn't see that on Insta.com. He did marry Phyllis Corns, my mulatto, biracial, for the grandmother, okay? So, and it was in East Texas right there by Central County, Cold Springs, Cleveland. That's the side of my family tree there, right? So, yeah, I know, so that's what I'm saying. And yeah, so I just want everyone to know that because they're using these arguments and not knowing that not all and how I know about the Native American purchasing to get you free because a mixed race sister who was black, white, and native told me back in 2003 I had a mixed race group on Yahoo, and she came and told us that not all the Native American people was for like slavery, because if you was black mixed with black, or you're black and Native American or white, whatever, triracial, biracial, whatever, mixed with black, you was still property to the country by the slave owner owning you. And so if you ran away from the slave man's cruelty and go to a Native American community, you could be free. So that's why I just like y'all don't, and they would so when a white man come after you, trying a white woman too, because a white woman own slaves, trying to get you back on a plantation, by law they can do that. So the American friend or girlfriend, boy, whatever it is, will go purchase you, and you be considered a slave to that person, but you're technically free because they're not practicing slavery with you. You know what I'm saying? They're going by the law of order to stop them from being enslaved by the white supremacists. So people don't, I just get on my nerves because they trying to make everything, and I'm seeing seeing people who, they was involved in slavery, so was the Africans. You had Africans involved in slavery. That's who contributed. Okay, so y'all don't talk about them kings and queens and shit. And so you have people who are free, who are either mixed race black or pure black, who own slaves. People don't talk about that. Okay? Yes, you did. And it was the same thing with the Native Americans. You had those who bought their families if they were free to get away from slavery, or they wanted to be part of racist society, and they started practicing, self-hating white cooning behavior to purchase and own slaves. And we got that here going on. Diddy, oops. Those who signed that contract, bad boy, were doing. Diddy, oops, was a slave owner, and all the butt bacon slave of Clyde Davis. Diddy, all them artists on Bad Boy records were being slaves. So what the heck y'all talking about? Okay, and other people like the turkey leg. They said Lynn Price was being like a slave owner. They said it like that, but technically what it is, he wasn't doing good. Here in Houston, he locked up. Then I heard somebody told me, I'm gonna say who it is, because he knows them personally, that he was treating Latino workers like slaves. Who was not documented. Sure was being rude and cruel, besides abusing his wife and doing all type of. They said Lynn Price was doing all type of shit. Like the cuss up here. Oh yeah, just being ratchet, being a dusty with money, being evil, violent, and Dusty. What the vessel said, say, are you dusty? Uh-oh. Oh, she never said, oh, the vessel gonna talk about that case, about the turkey leg. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Oh, the vessels gonna talk about the turkey leg. Yeah, black man on the business, beat his wife, man, street now. Now he locked up, oh, Dusty. You know he Dusty. Yeah, yes, he used. The vessels. The vessel. Oh, you know he was talking about. We gonna do a story about that too. You know the vessels. The vessels gonna talk about lean shoes. They probably already did. I don't know, but it. And Cindy G. Cindy G. Yeah, the pathology of the black man. He's trying to imitate the white man. He treat the white black woman crazy, and you see how violent he was, and it's. Cindy G. But anyway, let me get to the subject, y'all. So that's the point. So going back to Beyonce wearing Buffalo Soldiers, there was good Buffalo Soldiers and bad. But as I said, if you're gonna talk about Buffalo Soldiers being anti-indigenous and anti-Hispanic, then talk about the Town Soldiers who fought on Sam Houston's side. The Town Soldiers also was in the Confederacy, besides some Puerto Ricans and Cubans. Okay, wasn't just the Mexicans involved on Confederate side for slavery. Okay, in doing the LULAC days in the 1930s, they was the get mad. The governor called them Mexican and saying they're white. Don't put them as Mexican, put them as white. They were saying that it was not, the Negro problem is the Negro problem, not their problem, and they were being anti. So before you start just jumping on the Buffalo Soldiers, because I'm not defending the Buffalo who were anti-indigenous or anti-Mexican. My point is, then too, like I'm also mad with the African people. As much we always claim the Native American roots, you know damn well not all Native Americans was slave owners. There was interracial love and relationship and marriage. And for years, even when the slaves were brought here in the 1600s, they did escape to Native American communities because they were being oppressed by the white supremacists. So yeah, you had coons. You know what I'm saying? Just like you had coons in the Buffalo, so you had coons in Native American. Like hush. Like it gets on my nerves. Because I'm part of the indigenous too. I'm part Cherokee down in Fenton, and I'm very proud. And it really hurt, got to me, touched me when I found out my fifth grandfather died of church years. And I have proof of that. It's on my big mama side. Okay? My big mama. Okay? And I got along with big mama. I didn't get along with my grandmother, her daughter. I got along with my big mama, great grandmother, okay? Because she was sweet. She wasn't like my grandmother, okay? Her daughter. So, and it still hurt because on Christmas of '88, when she passed away, not on Christmas Day, but she passed away during December. And I was in third grade and 9 years old back in '88 when I found that Big Mama, and I did cry. I sure did. You know what I'm saying? Big Mama was sweet. Sweet grandmother, just great grandmother, sweet, just very sweet. When I did her ancestry before I lost my apartment, I was shocked because there were white passing people in her family my dad was showing pictures back in 1993 about that. I have a Creole cousin that lives in the same neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, and that's on the Butler side, and yeah, that's now Big Mama, my Big Mama daddy. Big Mama's grandfather on her mama's side. I saw pictures of her mother, and my great grandma's second grandmother, and she was dark skinned. Her daddy was light skinned. So, and so I don't know her better was dark, bright. Cause you remember how they categorize black people. People mix black. You look like a white person, have black, put your mulatto. The census records and race supremacists was always mismatching the doggone terminology of race. So I don't know if Han Butler was fully black or he was mixed or he was dark with mixed hair. I don't know. But this how, and I do think I'm related to Pimp C. If Pimp C, Chad Butler family came from Polk County, okay. So it was a chapter. I had to go back to the New York Times because it actually showed the article, but my grandmother didn't tell about the New York Times. She told me this. So Big Mama's grandfather, Hamilton Butler, had the other Butlers had to leave Polk County, Texas, because he got into an argument with white men, and I'm sure it was N-word was used and nigga this that, and my third grandfather shot a white man's head off, and I found it was a soldier. And I found it was in Chapel Hill. So all the butlers, I guess the Klan was upset, had to leave Polk County and start scatter out in Texas somewhere. And that's how they ended up here in Houston, Harris County, and my second grandmother. So Eula Butler, it was Eula Butler, yeah, Eula Butler, yeah. So my third grandmother, second grandmother, John, Levi's son, Levi is the child from John Will Jackson Jr. and Phyllis, but Levi Jackson named his son John from his daddy. Okay, so I guess his grandpa who's slave master too. Okay, anyway, who's white. So, and that's how. And then so John Jackson, who's Big Mama's daddy, married Eula Butler, and it's my third my second grandmother, and I'm gonna trace her roots as well. But I'm trying to find out if Pimp C and I are related because he lived in Port Arthur, and his family, who Butler, was kicked out of Port Arthur because they relative, all we had the same third grandfather, Hammond Butler, shot a white man's head off back in the 18 and 1900. Oh yeah, it was the Klan days. Oh yeah, they had to leave. So they could be related to me. Yeah, so I know Ham Butler didn't play. So yeah, he ain't play. He ain't Ham and Butler. All the Bullets had to leave Polk County. Showed they couldn't stay in Polk County. They show couldn't. So so that's what I'm saying that definitely I need to find it out. Um, so Pimp C from UGK. Yeah. So, but they are like they're dark skinned, they're bright skinned people. Last name Butler's on that side. Oh yeah, different shade. And also there's a Creole cousin on my grandma's side. She related to the Butlers as well. Okay, so and she died. She was one of our neighbors. Not like neighbors. She lived a couple of streets down in our neighborhood, and she was bright skinned with long hair. Sure was. She used to tell me, so she died was 2014, 2012, something like that. Yeah. So and her daughter went to the same school. Her daughter, my cousin, she graduated in '93, but her older sister went to school with my aunt and my uncle and my daddy, and then so yeah, so point is, uh, I ain't trying to tell my cousin business. She did man. She showed it because I bet when I was working with Goodwill, he said, "She's your cousin. You used to date each other." I said, "Okay." That man that we graduated with my cousin, the bright skin sister on that side of the family. So did. She graduated in '93, I graduated in '98, the same school. But I saw that's how I said about with Beyonce on that. It's just that I'm not defending bad things to happen because, like I said, people, if that's the case, we can counsel to handle soldiers. And counsel to. I mean, I love to handle music, but counsel work because that was it. Come on, it was a count. If you don't do that mess, come on now, let's tell it like it is. Because they was involved. Like I said, they was involved in the slave trade, the slave business here in Texas. Once Texas was stolen from Mexico, Jose Navarro, Jose Antonio Navarro was the biggest Mexican American slave owner here in Texas, and others, Senjuin was as well, and others, and they own slaves here. So, and when I hear about, that's why you have anti-black racist Mexican people, because many of them were descendants of those folks that was on Texas, or who was on the Texan side. Okay, that's the truth. Because the ones from at the border was for the slaves leaving Texas. The ones here in Texas was on Sam Houston's side, and they went against Santa Ana. So right, they was doing it for money and greed. So. And then when the Civil War came in, they took part of the Civil War. And there were Latinos. I saw that too on Wikipedia. There were Latinos on on the blue side, on the north side, but the gray side you had Latinos who are, and it wasn't just Mexicans. You had Puerto Ricans and Cubans too. And I saw that as well. So, shout out to my boss on TikTok. He showed that too. There was some Puerto Ricans and Cubans on the Confederate side, which I did not know that because people think that everybody in Puerto Rico came, to the New York in 1920s, 30s, or 40s, whatever. Cubans came. No, there was Cubans and Puerto Ricans here. It was a small percentage. like the Mendes versus Virginia. No, I said Mendes versus Virginia. See, Mendes versus Miss Wister in California. There was just only a Mexican family. It was a Mexican and Puerto Rican family because Sylvia Mendes, her mother was Puerto Rican, her dad was Mexican, and she was in California. They were Mexican, Mexican, and actually that's what got integration because when they won for Latinos to go to white school, then the brown versus education came in. It's all the inspiration that. So anyway, people just don't know their history. Just gets on my nerves. It's just they do. Just get up there, get on it. Like, but Beyonce and Buffalo Soldier was not trying to go against Native American people or Hispanic people because she got Hispanic blood. I have Hispanic blood too from Louisiana. So yeah, it was Daily Mail. I saw about her geology on Daily Mail, and it said Beyonce had Spanish in her too. She had other things in her Irish. I know that too. She had Asian in her too. That's on her mom. I said, I ain't chat. She had everything. Go ahead, Beyonce, huh? And Solange shoes. Mm-hmm. Tina Knowles got all type of blood in her. Miss Tina. Mm-hmm. Tina Knowles. She all type. And I still don't understand how Matthew Knowles saw this sister as a white woman. Yes, she light skinned, she got different hair texture and all that. But when she had dark hair, when Tina Knowles had dark hair, like black hair, she looked like a doggone Latina, like some Mexican, Puerto Rican stereotype. You know what I'm saying? I don't see her as a white woman. He had a thing for those anyone lighter than him. You know what I'm saying? Talking about Matthew Knowles, you know what I'm saying? So he thought that she was a mixed race Creole sister. She ain't no full blown white. I still, he see he done drugs. No offense to Beyonce daddy, and I can't stand him either because I met him a couple times. Can't stand Matthew Knowles. He was on coke if he thought that Tina was a damn up here white woman. Come on, come on, come on. He told DJ Faye he thought that Tina Knowles was a white. Lord have mercy. What is going on with it? That cocaine was going. He was on that coke for real. Anyway, that's all I gotta say.